Season 3 for me is the first step that Riot takes to make this game be like a real sport. And so there will be a lot of eyes on this first season.
Well, Season 3 is like the new beginning for everybody.
Since I was 14, I was already playing other games, and I was hoping that I could become a pro gamer like those people I see playing and doing their living for that.
I've been playing video games since I was a little kid, but about 10 minutes ago I became a pro gamer.
It's a step in the next part of my life, and I'm excited, honestly.
It's not really just a game anymore. It's a job.
I think people don't realize that are ready to focus on only esports and put time towards that commitment.
It's just insane to be making money off playing League of Legends. In the next 3 months, making way more than I made over a year doing part-time jobs.
I think I'm looking forward to skip 1 year because college is whenever. League Season 3 is now.
Every team wants to be pro, and there's always practice if you want it.
We play 5 to 6 days a week, 8 to 10 hours.
Going to make an impact there on Eve.
We want to play anyone. We really do. We just want to
work really hard and practice really hard, and we're going to be able to play them for months.
What a job. I get to travel around the world and experience everything. I meet so many new people and just understand myself better as a person and grow.
People can think whatever, but then I just explain them, well, I do what I like. I travel all around the world. I have friends, so for me, it's making my dream.
I think there's a big future in esports.
And I think in the next few years, it's just going to get even bigger. It's going to be incredibly cool.
Series live in Los Angeles. I'm Rivington Bislin III, and joining me as always is David Freak Turley. We're glad to have all of you back today as we continue our coverage of the first week of Season 3.
Now, of course, yesterday was our season opener, and it did not disappoint by any means. Let's take a quick look at the highlights.
What a better way to kick things off than a classic rivalry, Team Solo Mid versus Counter Logic Gaming. CLG was just too much for TSM to handle, winning a 4-0 exchange and taking Baron.
It looks like Kaox picks himself a kill up on the right.
LG 1-0 in the LCS, the very first victory of the day.
In the matchup between Curse and Dignitas, it was St. Vicious setting the tone early, picking up first blood, taking down Skara.
In a flash in and a flash out, Skara could be going down here. One last attack from St. Vicious, and he picks up first blood.
After taking control of the game, Curse would try for another Baron, but Skara was there to steal it with a clutch barrel.
Barrel's not going to do much. Actually, they're just kind of holding off here.
They're
really
trying to bait it.
biding the time.
He got it
with the barrel, throws the cask in. They are able to make it out of this one.
However, the Baron steal was too University faced an already 1-0 counter Logic Gaming. Just over 30 minutes into the game, there was a battle of the AD carries at GGU's inhibitor.
No mana for either AD carry. The blast is in, gets a double kill. Don't mash me coming up there big time.
That is an ace.
Triple.
Wow, that was impressive.
Despite Don't Mash Me's great play, CLG's experience would win the day, and their victory put them 2-0 in the LCS.
60 seconds in the death chamber is going to be too long. The minions are flooding the base, Freak. A triple kill coming in for double lift here as everybody has fallen. And that
to give up, the fearless Zuna tried to keep Vulcun alive with a double kill.
I'm on he won't start, he won't start!
You got shot. Winston.
One more! Let's go!
Get him! Get Jack. Go to Jack. Drag. Come here.
Can we bear?
No, we can't.
But the TSM of old was back, and Reginald's Kazakhs led them to their first win of Season 3.
There's the unstoppable force. There's the jump in. The shred from Reginald takes out Zuna. Mandatory Cloud looks like he could follow quite soon. Everywhere. Triple kill coming in, and it's going to... Now here's where the standings are from yesterday's matchup.
So, of course, at the top of the day, Counter Logic Gaming 2-0, certainly proving themselves as right now the top dog in North America, but right below them, Curse at 1-0, Solo Mid at 1-1.
Freak, in those bottom three teams, the 0-1s now, if you get a chance to pull out their first wins of a possibility here in the LCS.
Yeah, Vulcun, GGU, Dignitas are going to try to make their ways through. So, let's preview who's hitting the Rift today. Our first match features two veterans. Well, they met in the North American Regionals, and Solo Mid called it their easiest finals ever. So it's Dignitas' turn to put some pain on a TSM.
And then in our third match, we'll see Curse take on Good Game University, one of the most resilient teams that we've seen coming from the qualifiers. So let's see how Curse's confidence stacks up against GGU's massive potential. And finally, Dignitas is back to face Vulcun. Vulcun looking for that first win of the season, but they'll have to beat out the battle-hardened Dignitas.
Now, of course, we're just one day into Season 3, but here's some trends that we noticed from yesterday. Now, first off, clever
junglers to go for the aggression. There's Xin Zhao a lot in the jungle as well, and they're just pushing in for a lot of the counter tactics, and we're seeing that a little bit more with those sneaky invades.
And that is really important. These guys are growing their champion pools, playing more champions, getting things going on. LeBlanc ban against TSM, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And actually, I think the biggest meta breaking point we saw was Hotshot GG, who decided what better way to open up the season than no runes. No runes.
Why not?
Still
Start
win.
some trends. Hard mode.
Hard mode.
See if you can do it on hard mode. It might be easy for the rest of the season.
It's an achievement. And we're at LOL Esports. Use the hashtag LCS. Let us know what you think in 140 characters or less, and we'll respond to your tweets live on air later in the broadcast.
So now that it's time for our first match of the day, it's one that many fans will be watching very closely. Counter Logic Gaming versus Curse, Freak.
And let's take a closer look at the rivalry between these two teams.
We're not afraid of them, but we know it's going to be our hardest match.
Right. They had to take it to Curse. That's exactly what they did.
Whenever like someone gets benched from CLG, they go to Curse.
You know, St. Vicious is on that, Voyboy's on there, Elements is on there. So there's just a lot of tension because the teams have swap players so much.
Every time we would replace someone on a roster, Curse would just snatch them up. Even though we would think they're not good enough for us, it'd be good enough for Curse.
I think that's pretty silly because like, ever since I joined Curse, we've been performing really well. I think we've really proven ourselves as our own team.
It's a big deal for everyone.
When we benched Voyboy, that was probably like the toughest decision.
I was really shocked. Up until that point, like I felt like I was playing really well. And it was obviously hard for me. It's hard for anyone to hear like, you're not doing good enough, or like, we have a different direction.
It's not like there's animosity or like, oh my god, I hate your guts. It's just, it's business.
I think they always want to prove
important match.
It's been so long since we played them, so I guess anything could happen.
And it definitely gives bragging rights whoever wins. It'll be a fun match to watch.
A fun match to watch indeed, and interesting to say the least. Let's get into it right away. Let's go over the lineups here. On the blue side, it's going to be Curse. Your boy up top. St. Vicious representing from the jungle. Jackie in mid. Cop on AD, and Elements at support.
And of course, on the red team, Counter Logic Gaming. Hotshot GG up at top. Chowster in the jungle. Link, that new guy on mid, perform.
Once again, they're not going to forget that CLG made him have to do that.
Yeah, and Voyboy had to qualify twice, of course.
Yep.
And, you know, it worked for them, and it is an interesting story. Hotshot said that they usually tend to win. CLG normally wins that matchup, but certainly tensions are high, and it's best of one here. It's going to be really close. So, yeah, Chris going to look for their sort of comeback here.
Well, they both have a little bit of momentum. They're on the forefoot with the right step here. They are coming off both with wins from yesterday, so no losses there to kind of tick against them. But then again, that means they weren't really challenged that hard, so they're going to have to try and pull out some new stops here.
He certainly had to play some tough competition, but he likes to pull attention to himself. He likes to pull the opposing jungler, the opposing mid lane, to gank him. But Voyboy is a guy who can handle Hotshot one-on-one and probably just win that matchup straight up 1v1. So that kind of removes one of CLG's big options here.
Indeed, with all those people on the team, also we were talking about that, you know, the playbook is kind of known there. They know how they like to start the game, to end the game. However, Season 3, Doublelift said yesterday in his interview, so many things have changed that even being in it from last year hasn't really felt that much comfortable at all. It's all different for them. So select.
And right off the bat, we got CLG on the red team, and the third time in a row now, Shen is banned out against Hotshot, and right off the bat, Katarina taken away from Voyboy, and Nidalee taken away from Hotshot. Are we going to see the same 3 bans against CLG for the third time in a row?
Over and over and over. Where's the Olaf? And we'll be pretty much sad.
Exactly. So, Kale removed away from Jackie. That's interesting, and there we go. So we saw Tarek first picked. Yeah, quite a lot, and they've removed now Tarek from CLG.
So 2 AD carry compositions trying to be thwarted with these bans. You see the Tarek.
Honestly, that is super scary. CLG knew that was a very likely first pick going into this one. They said, you know what? We're going to ban Kale, Cat, and Misfortune. Those are our bans. We're going to move on from there. So, I mean, right now, they've got to say that Hotshot needs to feel confident 1v1ing Olaf here, because Olaf's a great 1 versus 2. Voyboy in general will just 1v2 and win people, like win against people just in the game overall. So, I'm very interested to see what comes out here.
We'll have to see. I'm interested to see if Chalister has, you know, expanded into Jarvan in the jungle, because a lot of people said when Olaf comes back,
they go for it. So it's interesting that Curse is more worried about Tarek than they are about Nunu. And Doublelift, really, he's known for 2 champions, and that's Caitlyn and Vayne. These are his, like, big old-school comfort picks. Kate Nunu is a great lane overall. You can 2v1, you can 2v2, you'll win most of those.
St. Vicious again picking up that Xin Zhao pick. He was very aggressive yesterday, initiating time after time again onto Skara's Gragas. They finally found a fight, which we saw within the replays, where they completely took out Dignitas in front of that Baron. He's been very, very
team, which, you know, when you grab Xin Zhao, you've got a knockback, but you don't really like lock up a lot of people for a while, nor does Olaf. So they've really grabbed some crowd control in this team to follow up from the Xin Zhao initiate. I like that pickup a lot. Works with pretty much all the lanes. And if you do go heads up against Nunu Caitlyn, Sona is probably the best single lane to throw up against Nunu as well.
Yeah, it's going to be good for the sustain, for the poke that they can bring to you. Kind of just wait it out until that late. We see Cho'Gath being picked up, and it is going to be a Lee Sin in the jungle here, possibly.
Step back and think about the game. Generally speaking, bruisers try to fight the AD carries, and that's kind of a duel in its own right when you get to mid-late game team fights. And a blood-boiled Caitlyn wins duels against most bruisers, and so Voyboy's going to run at him, and a blood-boiled Doublelift will probably win that fight. So they almost negate part of that power from Olaf just because he'll be able to be killed.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Doublelift will be able to kill him in a late game fight, and that's really important.
We'll have to see if they can bring that to
Skillshot champion. He's mechanically a superstar. And what I really, really love about this Kog'Maw pickup is they've analyzed the CLG lineup. Cho'Gath and Nunu, they're not able to like easily participate in assassination, right? They don't get in there and drop down an unsafe AD carry. So by picking up Kog'Maw, CLG does not have a way of easily removing him from the fight. So Kog is safe here. And we talked about Nunu Kate being a great late game pick where you can kill off Olaf, and that's really, really useful. But they don't have
pretty much saying, all right, yeah, Voyboy can run through, but he's going to be the only one.
Yeah, I mean, Saint and Voy are going to go in there, and they'll be supported by Orianna. And honestly, there's a pretty good dive team here for Curse. However, they could also play defense. They could also play counter engage. Voy can deal with whatever Bruiser runs in there. You know, if Chowster tries to mess with people, Voy can just start dealing the damage there. And really, CLG, this is a defensive lineup. They've now grabbed the Nivea here. They've got again, that Ice Blast. They've got the big silence from Cho'Gath. This is pretty much a team that is setting up for double lift. There was a tale of this game right here is you know, just repeating myself though, but CLG, they don't have these ridiculous damage threats. Like Chowster will be tanky, he'll be useful. Right. Hotshot GG on Cho'Gath will be tanky and useful. Link will put out good damage on Anivia, but you don't have a Xin Zhao or an Olaf. Those are different classes of champions here. Olaf and Xin Zhao are big damage threats. They're tanky, they're initiators, that's fine, but they kill things for a living, and you don't have that here on most of that CLG lineup. And so I'm curious to see how